All right, today we're going to learn how to do a 3-needle bind off. And since I want this bind off to be relatively hidden, I'm going to go ahead and turn my knitting inside out. And I want to make sure that my yarn is on the outside of the work so that I am able to use it easily. All right, so I'm going to line up my needles here. What we're going to do, take a 3rd needle of the same size and we slip it into the first stitch knitwise on the first needle, knitwise on the back needle, and I'm going to wrap my yarn as if to knit and pull it through both stitches, and then I slip those both off of their respective needles. Now I'm going to do that again. Go in as if to knit, again as if to knit on the back needle, wrap it around, pull that through both of those stitches, slip them off of their needles. Now since I'm binding off, I don't want to keep accumulating stitches here. I have to only have one at a time. So what I do is take one of these needles and I take the back stitch, the one closest to my wrist, slip my needle in there as if to purl or knit, whichever, and slip it over that second stitch and off the needle. Now I'm going to go back in as if to knit. It's always as if to knit with a 3-needle bind off, as far as I know. Slip it into the stitch on the back needle, wrap your yarn around, and slip it through both and pull them off the needles. Take one of these needles, take that stitch closest to your wrist, slip it off the needle by going over the remaining stitch. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Slip as if to knit, wrap it around, pull through, slip them off, take that first stitch, piggyback it over the second stitch and off your needle. Once you get a little used to this, you may be able to do both of these stitches at the same time, like so. Sorry, this yarn's a little tricky to work with. It's very easy to split, which I just did. Sorry, I'm pulling it out of frame, I know. So again, slip as if to knit, slip as if to knit, knit it, pull your yarn through, pull those stitches off the needles, take that back stitch, jump it over the remaining stitch and off the needle. And as you can see, what you're doing here is you're closing that up. And it gives a really nice, neat edge. So on this piece, I have it hidden, but this is a really pretty bind off that you can also do on the right side or outside of your work. And one last time, we're gonna slip in through both of these stitches knitwise. You wrap your yarn around, pull it through, slip those needles off their stitches, and then bind off that stitch by taking the first one, piggybacking over the second, and right off your needle. And I'm going to continue to do that all the way across.